So I thought this was gonna be a Zoom meeting. But here you all are, right in front of me, in your daytime clothes, most of you. Well, at least I'm wearing pants, so that's good. But welcome to year one intensive, day 2. Are you ready to get integrated? It is so good to be all together finally, after not being together with our whole group. And some of you may be just realizing that your mom and sister, neighbor are also taking year 1. Hopefully they're not in your group this year. Speaking of a year, it's been a crazy year. So many virtual meetings. I don't know if any of you have had the privilege of teaching an elderly relative how to do a virtual meeting. But I feel like they're either gonna learn how to do a Zoom call in the first 2 minutes, or they will never learn. I mean, you could sit down and help them learn for 2 hours, but I think we all know the outcome. There's just so many things that can go wrong during a virtual meeting. You can accidentally mute your boss. You can accidentally put a cat filter on your face and not be able to take it off. Having any amount of kids around. I think most of us operate in like a medium amount of courage throughout the day, like crossing the street without looking both ways. Thinking you're gonna go to Target and not spend $3 million. But there's very few of us who operate on that upper level of, they have access to that upper level of courage. Going to the bathroom during a Zoom call. It is imperative that you know the state of your camera at all times. And your mute button. With COVID, and there's just some things that people do regarding COVID that just don't make any sense. Like the other day, as I start to venture back into the world, I went to a coffee shop and I went up to the barista, and there's, the plexiglass with all those little holes. I think it's so that she can hear me better, or that I can hear her. But I couldn't help but wonder, how big is COVID? Is it thinking, how do I get through? Is the hole too small? And the other day I went to a restaurant, and I walk in and wait to be seated, with my mask on, and then walk 4 feet over, sit down, and take my mask off. So am I safe now? I think some of us think that COVID is like a mist or a vapor that only travels at certain altitudes. When you're sitting and then safe, flies over your head. I went to the chiropractor last week. I've just been doing a lot more sitting, and just my back, this year we're just sitting a lot. Some of you. And I went in, got my temperature taken. I was sitting 6 feet away from everyone. And then I went to get adjusted, and mid-adjustment, my chiropractor pulls down his mask and sneezes. I mean, I understand not wanting all the sneeze juices in your mask, but that's when I needed protection the most. And I felt some of those sneeze particles get in my mucous membranes. I felt it. I love this wholehearted group, or what do we call it now? Intensive. Year 1 intensive. I love it so much. I do think there should be just like a little disclaimer, like a little note during the registration process that you're gonna need some waterproof mascara. There is just so much crying, so much lamenting. I cried so much in my group, I feel like my eyeballs needed windshield wipers. And then you're just supposed to leave your group like nothing ever happened. And I'm just trying to drive away and not get in a car crash because my face is so puffy and salty. And I want to go to Chick-fil-A and I want to order a chicken sandwich and a diet lemonade. Like I did not just grieve all my gaps. And I want to order my food and, you know, I need to be courageously real with you all. I did not order diet lemonade. I ordered full sugar lemonade. I chose the full sugar lemonade. My desire was to have something sour and sweet, but also a fruit drink. And it felt really good drinking it. I felt really happy and like euphoric and even a little bit hyper. But then I started to feel, as the day went on, like sick and my stomach hurt. And I started to cramp up, because that's a lot of sugar. And, you know, I thought that full sugar lemonade would fulfill me. That's the lie I was believing. I thought that full sugar lemonade would satisfy the deepest parts of my heart. But it didn't. I even got a little bit of diarrhea. You know, and I know there is only one thing that fully satisfies the heart, the whole heart. And that is Chick-fil-A waffle fries. Thank you so much. I hope that brought you a little bit of joy.